I may be only 19 years old, but I may have just witnessed the greatest comeback of all time in the finals history. Obviously, 2016 Cavs, they came back 3-1, but 29 points. Your team looks down and out in the first half. You couldn't make a shot. Jalen Brunson didn't make his first field goal until 9:50 in the first quarter, second quarter. In the second quarter, he didn't make a shot till 9:50. But OG Anunoby saves the Knicks in this one. Jalen Brunson takes a long three, misses it short. It bounces up. OG Anunoby gets the tip in to go up by one. Inbound to Stephon Castle, fumbles the ball, can't get a shot up, and the Knicks win it in Madison Square Garden. They take game 4. Now they're up 3-1, and now the Spurs have to face what was once impossible. LeBron James and the Cavs, Kyrie Irving with his clutch shot. They came back, but it is a very tall mountain to climb. But let's start with the Knicks. That first half, obviously, like I said, looked bad. They couldn't make a shot. It felt like their defense, they were just giving open shot after open shot after open shot. And it was falling for the Spurs. It was falling. And then on the offensive side of the ball, like people you can trust in this playoff series, in the past playoff, the 13 games that you won in a row. Landry Shamet didn't miss. Miles McBride didn't miss. Mikal Bridges gave you a very good game last game. OG Anunoby gave you a good game last game, but still nobody could make a shot. And Jalen Brunson, like I said, I didn't make a shot until 9:50 into the second quarter. He had 12 full minutes of the first quarter plus 3 minutes of the second, and you haven't made a shot. He made 2 free throws, but you haven't made a shot yet. So very, 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 very slow start. Cat 2 fouls very early. Let me see. Let's check when he came back into this. He didn't come back into the game until like 2 minutes left of the second quarter. So you missed that very high offensive power from Jalen Brunson. Oh no, from Cat, and you could tell. You could tell, man. They had to pull out Hikaporti. He's played 70 minutes in the playoffs so far. They even reached out. They went so far into their bag. They reached their fourth center. They put Jeremy Shohan in the game. He's only played 1 possession in this playoff series so far. And they gave him the assignment of Wemby. They tried it. It didn't work, obviously. But yeah, just a fast start from the Spurs and a slow start from the Knicks. Then the Knicks in the third quarter. I don't know what happened. What Mike Brown said in that locker room. It started a little slow, but then 12 straight for the Knicks. 12 straight for the Knicks. And 13 straight from the Knicks. I apologize. Cut down the lead to 16. Mike Brown had an interview during one. I don't remember when it took place, but it was during it was one of the interviews. It's like they asked, "What does this need? What needs to happen?" He said, "We just need to get the lead down to 17 going into the fourth quarter." They did that. They got it down all the way to 15 points going into the fourth quarter. And the third quarter did start off very bad. There was multiple plays where it's like, dang guys, y'all need to make a shot. I was still missing. There was a play that I remember. It was Wemby was being guarded by Jose Alvarado, and Cat is on the weak side. He's right there. He can touch Jose Alvarado and Wemby, and instead of trying to switch, telling Jose like, hey, I got him. Go get the weak side. He just lets him have it, and then that leads into a foul by Jose Alvarado on he grabs his leg and he falls. So it's like a loose ball foul. So it gives Wemby 2 free throws, and obviously Wemby's had very good free throw percentage this series, and this whole playoff run. So he makes them both, and that's painful when you're like, Cat, if you just take that assignment, maybe that doesn't happen. But then, just Jalen Brunson, he just sorry about that, y'all. My camera died, but as I was saying, Jalen Brunson did everything. He did everything in that third quarter, and you know, he just hit clutch shot of clutch shot, and they rallied back. They rallied back. They took a 1-point lead for the first time in the fourth quarter, and all thanks to Jalen Brunson. But the last person you have to give credit to is OG Anunoby. Again, like I said in the beginning of the video, clutch, clutch, clutch. But not only did he hit that last shot to win them the game, it was the defensive plays. It was the shot making he just had during the whole game. He's one of the guys that, even though they've had a slow start, he would still hit some shots. There was a few times in the corner where like Deuce McBride would just miss, but OG Anunoby wouldn't. So I got to give all the credit to OG Anunoby and Jalen Brunson. Now on to the Spurs. Y'all. The Spurs look so good in this first half. They could not miss a shot. It looked like the Knicks when they beat the brakes off the Cavs in that last game. They did not miss. Devin Vassell hit 4 for 4. Wembanyama was making shot after shot. He was attacking the paint. I think all but Julian Champagnie had almost 15 points in the first half. And that's impressive. That's an impressive stat. 15 points, 15 points each in the first half. That's very, very good. And not only that, this was the most threes in the finals made by any team ever. That's crazy. You can't think about that. You have that stat. You make that many shots. And you go up by 29 points. You think that's a game, And I believed it was game 2. I was like, I hope the Knicks come back because I want a good game, but it's probably not gonna happen, especially with the ways the Spurs are shooting. They're shooting the lights out of the Madison Square Garden. They silenced Madison Square Garden for 2 quarters, but then it got too loud. One of the key moments I'm gonna go back to is during this run, coming back from this 20.9 point lead, Wembanyama has 2 clutch free throws to keep this lead to double digits. And he misses them both. And that's not normal for Wemby. He's not afraid of the moment. He's a very good 3-point free throw shooter. When he goes to the line, it's like, this is a center, but damn, he's going to make these. And he does. This time he misses them. Now, Stephon Gasso gets a chance also in the end of the game, but he makes them both like he did in Game 3 when icing the game. But he missed those. But this last 3 minutes was very, 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 very close. There was a big shot by OG in the corner to cut the lead down to 4. But then, De'Aaron Fox silenced the crowd a little bit. He came back and hit like a step back 3 from the wing, and it brings it back to 7. And then another big shot from the Knicks to get it down to 4. And then Wemby just steps up and drills a 3 from long range to get it back to 7. And it's like, oh, maybe they can keep it. Maybe they can keep their lead. Maybe they can keep it. But then Jalen Brunson, he has the one-on-one. There's a switch from a screen where Wemby gets put one-on-one with Jalen Brunson. And Jalen Brunson, unlike Chet Holmgren, is not scared of that matchup. He sized him up. He took a step back and just greened a 3. He made it hit back of the net with 2 minutes and 7 seconds left. And then Jalen Brunson took the lead with 1 minute 22 remaining. And then the Spurs, they got a bad error. The Knicks threw an error pass, and then the Spurs went back up by 1. And that's when the game got into this last segment when OG Anunoby hits that. I'm going to talk about Game 5 here for just a second. The Spurs have to win, obviously. But the question is, how do you come into this game and back to San Antonio and not feel the pressure? Because there's only been one team ever to come back down 3-1, and that's arguably, people can call him the GOAT. And that team was very, very clutch. Kyrie Irving, hit one of the clutchest shots ever. Game 7 was a masterpiece. But the Spurs need to put up, they need to do what they did in the first half for 3 games straight. And winning 3 games straight is very, very hard. But the question is, can they do it? And I'm excited. I'm gonna sit in my chair right here, and I'm gonna watch this series with a close eye. Last thing, OG Anunoby. I got to give you your flowers. Jalen Brunson, one of the clutchest players in the league. Wemby had a great game. Ultimately, in the end, fails. And that's Xander clocking out for my shift.